5.
6.
Pepper. Hunger. Plimbo.
Baldwin.
Big P.
Imperioli.
Christopher.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Plimbo Last of Us Podcast, episode 4, day
Damn.
1.
Come so far.
It's been.
Can I hit you with a little anecdote?
Of course.
So, second week in a row, here I am minding my business on a Sunday night. Can't watch the show because I'm a little busy. I'm out at the Burlington, up in, I think, Logan Square.
Of course.
I walk into the bar. There's a little concert going on in the back. And what's going on in the front of the bar? They're watching the fucking episode. It's almost the very end. It's the scene when Dina and Ellie are talking at the very end. I'm like, what the fuck?
You can't go anywhere.
I've never been to a bar where they're like, let's just watch The Last of Us. That was very frustrating for me.
I feel like they used to do that with like Game of Thrones when it was coming out, is they would play it for people at bars. But I don't know if this is the same scale.
I will say they were locked in.
The people watching it?
Oh yeah.
Maybe you should go there for next week's.
No.
No.
With all due respect to the Burlington, it's not really my kind of bar.
I wonder why.
Like,
why might that be?
But anyway, there's my little anecdote. So I had a minor spoiler before this week, but it was fine. Did not ruin it for me.
All right, fair enough.
So let's talk about Jeffrey Wright, and more specifically, how somehow I nailed the name Jeffrey. Last episode.
Jeffrey Wright, who's that?
He's Isaac.
Oh yeah, he's Bernard from Westworld.
Yes, and last, maybe it was 2 episodes ago, I was talking about Dina pulling the name Jeffrey out of her pocket. I predicted it.
Did you?
Almost. Yes.
I don't remember talking about this at all.
No, because we were talking about Eugene.
Yeah, Eugene.
And you were like, this is the last we're going to hear of Eugene. And I said, well, maybe not. Maybe, go back to the old bread and butter and be like, oh, the leader is Jeffrey. Eugene told me. I would swear I said that. Maybe I didn't.
Is Eugene? Did we see Eugene in the flashback?
No, how do you not? Someone is not religiously watching the episodes.
I'm so confused, man. What are you talking about?
All right, fine. We'll fucking cut this. But, whatever. Okay.
No, okay. I remember you saying that, but what does Eugene have to do with the Isaac guy? He just knew who he was.
No, I'm just saying. I predicted that his name would be Jeffrey.
Oh, yeah. All right. We'll give you.
And it's almost Jeffrey. It's so close to being Jeffrey.
Good job, Mikey Johnston.
I mean, All right, whatever. So, awesome first scene.
Josh Peck dies.
I missed that. I know he's in the episode. I missed him.
He's the guy yapping at the beginning.
He's the guy talking about Greenberg?
Yeah.
Damn.
You don't recognize him?
I did not realize that was Josh Peck. I thought the whole thing with the voters was cool, though.
Oh, yeah.
At first, I thought he said boaters with a B.
And you're like, how can I join this post-apocalyptic yacht club?
Yeah, exactly. But no, the voters things makes more sense. And then the line when he gets out and he's like, you're all Greenberg. Great line.
That was good.
I've only just learned who Greenberg is, and I think it's, I'm 100% all in this moment.
Who's Greenberg?
Oh my God. You fucking kidding me right now?
Who's Greenberg?
Jesus, he's the guy Josh Peck's talking about.
No, I know that, but you said you only recently learned who he was.
Yeah.
Who Josh Peck is? But Greenberg's in the...
Greenberg!
No, he's talking
I
about Greenberg.
Oh my god.
He's talking
Oh,
about
this episode is a fucking mess.
he's talking to
Let's
no.
start from scratch. Let's go back to square one. Let's do it from scratch. I'm not bringing up any of this fucking shit.
All right, I have here Josh Peck dies. LOL. That's my first bullet point here. And he's talking about a guy named Greenberg who's not in the truck with them.
Yeah. Yes. Good read. Good read. I'm sorry, Plimbo. Damn it!
You're gonna have to cut that out.
Now you actually do have to cut this.
Mikey was so pissed that he released trade secrets. This has never happened before on this show. All right, let's move past. Let's move past
the
Greenberg.
Facade has cracked. Okay,
let's move past Greenberg. We got Isaac. We got Bernard from Westworld. His real name is Jeffrey. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, and when he drops those grenades in the truck,
that was pretty cool.
That was just an amazing scene.
So did he tear gas them, or did one of them actually blow up? Because the guy from the front of the truck kind of like bails out.
I assume maybe I was a little shrapnel situation. I'm not quite sure. I had the same question.
Yeah.
But no, they must have been.
It was a cool introduction to the character.
Oh yeah. And I like the idea of like a Fedra turned resistance.
Yeah, you can tell this guy. It's interesting, right? Because they show him as, he obviously thinks it's fucked up how Fedra is treating the normal people, right? Yet the juxtaposition to later when he's just burning a man's hand.
Yeah,
it's obvious he's kind of changed.
Well, maybe he was always that guy though.
Yeah.
I can see it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could have, he clearly rose to the top of Fedra, and you don't do that by being a little bitch.
True.
So he might have just been hard the whole time.
He's tough on crime.
Now, I'm very happy to see the Scar people are back.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they're like this radical insurgency. Almost like the Fremen from Dune.
Yeah, they're cool. They got a real Israel-Palestine situation over there.
Well, the thing here's what I don't get is in the forest. It seems like they got absolutely rolled.
And they weren't fighting anybody.
Just no way of fighting back.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're actually quite good at fighting back. So I'm a little confused by...
I can't tell if they're like maybe different sects of these people.
I was thinking similarly.
Yeah. There seem to be those who, and what's his name? Isaac in the show? Isaac makes the point that some of them realize that their prophet was just a person, and the other people think that they were like a god or something. Yeah. Maybe that's the difference between the two groups of these Scar people. I don't know.
Yeah. Like the ones who think they're a god are more radical.
Yeah.
I know, but I thought they were very cool. And yeah, I like the fanaticism. The scene where during the torture where, he has accepted his death and he just holds out his hand to be burned.
Yeah.
Powerful scene.
Ride or die.
It reminded me, I've been watching documentaries about post 9/11.
As one does.
As one does, and how the CIA was just going in and, torturing the shit out of people. Had a real CIA vibe to it.
Yeah, all right.
Especially because Isaac gets nothing. And the CIA also got nothing.
It's true. And
Just
yeah, go ahead. No, I was just saying it's he knew he was gonna get nothing, so he just killed him. So I don't know if you could call that mercy. He already tortured him, but whatever.
No, I think it's just frustration.
Yeah.
He realizes he's not going to get anything.
Mm-hmm.
He would torture him if he thought he could.
Right, and we get to see afterwards the guy he saved from the truck, who is clearly not as innocent as he once was anymore,
Mm-hmm.
calling them animals.
That's a good call out. I did not connect that he was the guy on the left.
Yeah.
Now, I do think we do learn a little something about Isaac here, in that I don't think he's torturing this guy for the fun of it.
No.
Like, he's not a real sadist.
No.
He's a ends determine the means sort of guy.
Yeah.
And he'll do whatever it takes to reach those ends.
Gotta crack a few eggs.
Now, I do think they couldn't come up with a better name for them than Scars.
They call them Seraphites, right? Seraphite?
Oh, is that the name?
So I think their nickname
I prefer them as Scars.
So I think they're like the wolves call them Scars, but I
Mhm.
think they call themselves Seraphites.
Oh, so the Messiah is probably Sarah.
Oh, yeah, I spelled it completely different, but yeah, I think that yeah, probably that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, you did SERA.
Yeah, I did that
Almost
CRA.
like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Like some sort of rare mineral.
No, but so this is the other thing I'm thinking about, and staying on the insurgency topic,
Mhm.
because I'm back to 9/11. Like, when you think of, and that would preface this by saying I know literally nothing about the wars in the Middle East.
Okay, you know a
But
little. You know a little.
essentially nothing. Um, but I mean, we do know that they won and we lost, basically.
Who won? What?
The terrorists.
Oh,
No,
like in Iraq?
I'm thinking of Afghanistan right now.
Oh, okay, sure.
They're currently in charge. They've got the administration.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I used to think, well, that's because you know it's so deeply ingrained, like over so many generations. You have this religious indoctrination. You can look at the same thing in the U.S. with generations of Christianity. And my thought was, well, maybe it takes a long time to bake in that level of indoctrination, so you could have this smaller force actually win. But
So
maybe not. Maybe you could do it in one generation. It's been 20 years. Do you think a religion can take hold so strongly in 20 years that you could have this level of devotion?
I think if you have some sort of a catalyst to it, like say a zombie apocalypse, and maybe I don't really know why this person that they idolize is so important, but maybe they did something. I don't know. But yeah, I think if there's something
And why?
world shattering happening, then sure, yeah.
Here's the other thing. Why?
Why what?
Why don't the Seraphine people just leave? There's plenty of land out
Uh,
there.
I don't know, man. I
Like,
got no clue.
why
They like
fight war?
Seattle.
Were you able to recognize any
Some of the stuff in
buildings now that they're in?
Capitol Hill Gate, and
Is that where the tank was?
yeah, I kind of, and I'll tell you, I did want to touch on that. I thought it was interesting they didn't know what the rainbow represented.
Oh, I like that actually.
I mean, it makes sense. I feel like why would anyone relay that piece of information to them? It seems like in the
Yeah.
in their in their reality, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I think it entirely makes sense.
But yeah, I thought it was funny, and she calls it the proud rainbow loving town or whatever.
Yeah, optimists or
Yeah.
yeah, no, I thought there was something sweet about that actually. Um, Now I still don't get how Abby's group fits into this. We did not see Abby.
Um, maybe they're just like they're just a squad, or they're just people that are a part of the Wolves. I don't know. I guess though,
But
why were they in Salt Lake City? I don't know.
I think they went after. they were fireflies, and then they became wolves
I see.
because the fireflies got destroyed. But I'm just skeptical that they would be allied with Isaac
Why?
because he's so brutal.
But he's also like a resistance kind of guy, no? Like the Fireflies were a resistance against Fedra, no?
Yeah, but now that Fedra's gone, he's the new Fedra, no?
I mean maybe. I don't. He seems like a somewhat reasonable guy, unless you try and kill his people.
All we've seen is him murder his own men and torture.
All right, maybe he's not a reasonable guy. I don't know.
Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think saying his methods are brutal.
It's true.
And aside from the killing of Joel, they've been remarkably tame. They being Abby's group.
That's true. I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
The subway scene.
I thought it was cool. It was definitely like the link. So I recognized the station.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you think that was filmed on site?
No, I think they made it look pretty close.
Okay.
Like by recognize the location, I mean like the sign they put up was accurate. I don't think like the whole tunnel, but I mean like, you know, it was dark. It's a subway tunnel. They all kind of look the same.
Fair.
Um,
What do you think about the train? Like them getting in the train?
Oh, that was stupid. Why'd they get in the train?
I also thought that was stupid, but it was tense.
It was cool.
I don't think it was stupid in a bad way. I did think it was cool.
It was a cool scene. I liked like the little like rubber section that connects the two cars, and you hear them all like pushing against it. Yeah, don't get in the train. Why are you getting in the train? But
just to get back out of the train, and
yeah, it was a cool scene.
And now, like 2 minutes later, when Ellie shoves her hand in the zombie's mouth, that I've been waiting for that all season.
Oh, for her to do something like that?
Well, for Dina to see her get bit.
Oh yeah.
You know. Oh, and it's in the conflict. The actors who played Dina did an excellent job in those scenes.
Where they're talking afterwards?
Where she's realizing she has to kill Ellie. As soon as the zombie bites her. Onwards.
I agree.
Now, the question is, should she have just done it?
I think it's a hard call to make in the moment, but you know, you'd have to think she's had to put down people before.
Yeah, maybe you just do it immediately so you don't bother.
I don't know.
You know, it reminded me of a book I recently read by Adrian Tchaikovsky called The Expert System's Brother. And in that book, it's very about like these tribal cultures and how easily people can be booted from said tribal culture. And it almost felt like that. Like there was this emotional shift where Ellie has gone from being in the in-group to being in the out-group so quickly. And Dina is grappling with that.
Yeah. And I will say, I'm like, you know, whatever. She's like, I'm going to sleep over here. You can watch me. First noises she makes waking up are very zombie grunt-esque. I might have shot her.
You might have shot. Well, so did Dina just stay up all night?
I guess, yeah.
Oof. See, that's the thing. That's risky business. What if she accidentally falls asleep? Zombie Ellie wakes up and eats her. But I guess that's the risk you take. You know, there is the emotional aspect.
We talk about her being pregnant for a minute.
Yeah, I was about to get to that.
I wrote kind of fucked up. She's stealing Jesse's child.
So that was I noted that as well.
She seems,
but I mean, so first off, on one hand, I'm like, Ellie, you jumped into parenthood so quickly with a child that is not yours.
Yeah.
But I do think it's kind of sweet that she's like, oh, we'll just raise the baby together. Me and Jesse will be the dads.
Yeah. Well, Jesse's an afterthought when she says that. But yeah.
Oh, 100%. But she is saying he'll be in the picture.
Sure.
It's not like, you know.
All right.
And
yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Jesse's a prominent member of society. Oh, I will say though, Dina's gonna die. As soon as I heard she was pregnant. Good things don't happen in shows like this.
It's true.
Dina's done.
Marked her off immediately.
The whole scene where finally they've reunited. Well, I guess not reunited. They've declared their love for each other. She's done. She's dead.
I'll talk a little bit about that. The scene where Dina's talking about her sexuality and how when she was a girl, her mom said, "You like boys."
Mm-hmm. Did you identify with that?
No, I said in the grand. No, I didn't. in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, I think it's great that she's finally comfortable being who she is. However, her mother told her this in the zombie apocalypse. They've got a small community. I'm gonna be honest. You have to keep the species alive. It is what it is.
I don't know if that's fair.
It's fair.
Well, to be fair, she is pregnant and having a baby, so
I guess it all worked out in the end.
But no, I don't know if I agree with you there.
Listen,
I mean, like, I hear your logical argument.
I said, to be fair, they've got like 20 people. I don't know.
Where do you think Dina's from? She didn't grow up in the place.
I have no idea. We don't know anything else about her, I guess. But she's usually alone, so maybe she doesn't have family in Jackson.
I don't think she does.
Yeah.
And that's why I think she was clinging on to Joel as a father figure. But I don't know. It's an I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I was expecting them to get together.
Yeah.
But also, her comment about morning breath I thought was funny. Because I'm like...
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that beef jerky for a second. When they're in their guitar store, Gina's like, I'm going to go make us beef jerky. I'm like, bitch, how you making beef jerky? Right now.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to go make us some beef jerky. What are you talking about? Are you going to go, like, smoke a cow leg? I don't understand.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene.
She says that. I'm like, huh?
That reminds me, Jeffrey's pans were immaculate. Now I want to buy some. How much do you think they are?
Jeffrey's pants.
I'm like, Jesus, that's a nice looking pan.
When he's in the kitchen, when he's torturing the guy.
Yeah.
His pants.
Not the pants. This is why I did the vocal warm ups.
His pans.
The pans.
Oh, you liked his pans.
Copper cookware?
Yeah. He was kind of selling me on it, actually.
I now really do want them. I wonder if that was targeted.
Did he have a nice pair of pants also?
Do you remember? Well, Jeffrey Wright looks good. It's just what he does.
They never show his pants. Oh wait, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they 100% show his pants.
They're just cargo pants.
Still though, he makes it work. What was the name of the pan? Do you remember?
Mauviel.
Oh yeah. They're expensive.
$200 for a lid.
$2,600.
The copper stock pot cost $800.
Well,
you can get a French fry
pan is only $250.
The mini copper French fry pot is $90.
Yeah, wouldn't that look good in the kitchen?
That's just decorative.
And for beatings.
For beatings?
And torture.
Oh, that's true. You heat it up. Hold on to this.
Heat it up. Maybe you capture a home intruder and you need to know, are there more coming? Heat up the pan.
Well,
now, what do you think about the very end when they're trying to decide what to do? And that's the scene that I saw in the bar.
I think they keep going. No?
Yeah, I feel like.
But now that Dina knows that she's pregnant, maybe she probably shouldn't be going.
Here's the thing. Because I know that Dina's gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm like, you should have just gone home. Because you're just going to die. Those two scenes together
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Chekhov's gun. Dina's pregnancy.
I'm right there with you. I agree.
So I would have sent Dina home, or at least asked her to hold back.
Well, we don't know what's gonna happen. Well,
But I thought the whole thing was actually quite sweet.
it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. All right.
I
Now,
also I wrote down I liked Bella Ramsey's acoustic take on me. That was nice.
oh, listen, I'm not trying to be like a grade A hater here.
You hated it. You hate
I
her. You hated it.
hated I hated the entire scene. Them
You
going into
called her
the
fugly. You hated it.
music store.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, I was thinking to myself, the show went from one of the best beginnings to the episode ever, which was Isaac taking care of Phaedra, to them in the guitar, and I'm like, I just don't care at them at the music store
Yeah,
at all.
you want more copper pots burning people. Yeah.
Also, their horse is named Schumer.
Shimmer.
Shimmer! I was like, okay, that makes more sense. I
Not
was like,
Schumer.
why they name it after Chuck Schumer?
I thought the horse was Greenberg.
Right. That makes sense. You're right. They referenced that in earlier episodes. But no, you know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I know what you're looking for.
Like,
You're looking for wholesome gay moments and guys getting
exactly.
burned with copper pants. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's my alpha and my omega. Yeah, all right. All in all, I thought it was a great ep. If you skip the guitar store, that was fantastic.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I don't know. The only thing that really took me out of the guitar scene was when she said she's gonna go make them beef jerky.
I skipped that. I apologize. Well, didn't skip it, but
She cuts a little off of the horse.
Oh no, not Schumer.
Not Schumer. Damn.
All right, give me your rating.
I don't know. 7.5.
I might go as high as 8. I enjoyed this more than the previous by far.
You really like the introduction of Isaac.
I loved Isaac, and I really liked the subway scene, and I thought it was all good. Yeah, and to be honest, Dina in the pharmacy. No, I knew she found something. I assumed the plot twist was going to be Dina's an addict.
She was doing opioids.
Like, was not in a million years expecting the pregnancy test. Great twist though.
Found Fent.
I always love when a show does something that I really don't see coming. I will say though, and it's a very dumb thought, and I recognize that. When she first said she was pregnant, I was like, damn, so maybe the kid will have Ellie's immunity. Genetically. but I figured it out pretty soon.
That's pretty funny. Well, because we talked about that in the first pod.
Yeah, exactly. So, I thought maybe we were going to go full circle.
Yeah. Not quite.
Yeah. Now, one last critique, and then we can be done. If I were Dana, I probably would have given it a few more hours before hooking up with Ellie to make sure she didn't turn into a monster.
She was quick. Yeah, she was quick to drop the whole thing.
Just dove on in.
Yeah, dive on in.
It's been 5 hours? I don't know. I'd have given it a little longer.
I also felt it was a little
just
fast.
To be safe.
I agree. But you know what? They got to keep the hey, clock's ticking. They got to keep the show moving. I get it.
Hey, you're right. I'm giving it an 8.
Damn.
One of the best episodes we've ever watched together.
That's crazy that you. All right.
Fair enough. I will say, if the whole episode was just Isaac, it would probably be a 10.
Yeah, I know. He's your Alan the Alien of this show.
He really is. And I just didn't see him coming. I had no idea we were going to get an Alan the Alien.
I didn't see him coming either. It's quite nice though. It's refreshing. They got to introduce someone cool now that Joel's gone. I think is what it is.
Oh, yeah. He could be the new Joel.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he will be. Like, what if?
I mean, you could see Joel doing this exact same thing he's doing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah, I could see. Anyway, great ep, and Godspeed.
Godspeed, everybody. Dive on out.
You have a lot of editing this episode.